Hello, I'm Marv Haugen with Hutchinson Parks and Recreation, and we're standing here on the Recreation Center roof in October here. I'm going to give you a little bit of an update on the Aquatic Center, the construction, and a little bit of history of the pool here in Hutchinson. And you can probably hear some of the construction noise in the background. And what I'd like to let people know is we're really proud and happy that the city has supported our outdoor pool for the last 30 years. But our existing pool, the attendance was going down, maintenance bills were rising, so it was time to replace the pool. So if we look down at the construction site, the biggest activity is in what we call the lap pool. So if you look carefully, you can see that it's going to be an L-shaped pool. If you think of going north and south, there'll be 6 lanes north and south for swimmers. That'll be 25 yards. Over to the right, you can see is the diving well, the deep end, which is about 12 feet deep. You have to picture 2 diving boards there, a 1 meter board and a 3 meter board. We're one of the few pools in Minnesota that has a zip line. So imagine starting to my right there in the deep area where you're about 10 feet high, and you get on a zip line, and people know what a zip line is, I think, a cable hanging on, and you get to slide down the full 25 yards and splash down in the water. So that's pretty exciting. So if we look towards the rec center back this way, you can see the zero depth pool, the shallow pool, and sort of a free-form beach area right in front of it. That represents the zero depth, or like I said, it's more like a beach. It tries to mimic that so that parents and kids can sit on the edge in their lawn chair, and it's a great spot for infants and any kids that are just learning to swim. So it starts at 0, and in the far corner it goes to about 3.5 feet. You can see sort of the free form, the curves of the lazy river. And people maybe are familiar with lazy rivers, and this is one of the few pools in our area that has a lazy river, so we're happy to have that, something a little bit different. The other thing about the lazy river is sort of a workout feature. In the mornings, typically we have lap swimming from 5:30 a.m. till 9 a.m. So another exercise feature will be the lazy river. So for people that can't swim, the water about 3.5 feet deep, they can actually walk against the current. So I know other pools that have done that, and it just adds one more component to our pool. So in the plunge pool, there'll be 3 water slides that will land there. So it's hard to picture right now, but imagine about 30 feet high, there's a slide, or 3 slide towers. So here we are in the lazy river, and as you can see, there's quite a bit of work to be done yet. The concrete shell is poured. In the spring, they'll come back and coat all these walls with what they call diamond bright. So they'll trowel on the final finish. There'll be a bright white finish that gets on the walls and on the floor, and also that'll carry through to the shallow water. So that pool is filled with steel. So imagine all the steel and about 12 inches of concrete on the walls and on the floor, and all that floated. It'd be just the power of the water. We think what happened is because of the depth of it, the water came from Sunset Street and filled this whole area, plus just that volume of water filled the whole site. So there's about 4 feet of water throughout this site. And we were a little bit concerned, as we should be, when that loss came. But the city did due diligence and had an insurance policy for specific things like floods. One thing I wanted to mention too is if you ever thought about being a lifeguard, you should contact our office, the Parks and Rec office, at 587-2975. In order to staff this facility, we're going to need a staff of about 75 to 80 people, with concession people, admission people, lifeguards, water safety instructors. So there's a lot of opportunity for people age 15 and up to come and work at the Hutchinson Aquatic Center. So once again, thank you, and see you in the spring.